Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Nitai Sachinandana Gaura Hari, Jaya Nitai Sachinandana Gaura Hari. Jaya Nitai Sachinandana Gaura Hari, Jaya Nitai Sachinandana Gaura Hari. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jai Gurudev. Shri Gurudev Gaur Premanande, Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki, Prem se ko Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki, Vrindavan Mathura Dham ki, Mayapur Navdeep Dham ki, Purushottam Kshetra Jagannath Puri Dham ki, Ganga Mai ki, Yamuna Mai ki, Bhakti Devi ki, Tulsi Maharani ki, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe.
They just go to the
The laptop was much better. Oh,
Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah, I think it will reach.
Jai. Sure.
Hare Krishna. I can tell you're so eager to hear. Normally, I have to ask devotees to turn and face the speaker because everybody's having darshan of deities, but Prabhuji, you've really excited them. They're eager and waiting. They've done 1,000 years sacrifice and filled with smoke. So, before I speak, I thought rather than we've done lots of announcements and welcoming guest senior devotees, and to me it almost sounds like a police report. Like they joined ISKCON at this time, they joined the ashram, this is when they started chanting 16 rounds, so when they got initiated. And so I thought it would be nice to appreciate. There's a philosopher by the name of Voltaire. Those of you that are like in usuals in college and etc. here probably heard of him. Something that he says that I've really appreciated as the statement that appreciation is such a nice quality. It makes what is wonderful in someone else become part of you as well. So please forgive me. I after listening to the lectures, and I've been listening to you since 2019, so I've had a chance to meditate, and Prabhuji did a very wonderful Putana seminar, which was really very well received back in COVID era, so I've had a lot of chance to reflect on mood and instruction. So I wrote down some things, and please forgive me for taking your time, but it was a meditation. So I thought before we welcome our most honored guest, His Grace Hari Parshad Prabhu, let us remember what we're receiving. So the words of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself say, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Kaya, Lava Matra, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hai. You all know this. The verdict of all revealed scriptures is that by even a moment's association with a pure devotee, one can attain all success. So what is that success we're talking about? What are we speaking about? What is success? Mahaprabhu answers this as well in his Shikshastakam, from his own depth of his yearning heart. Nayanam Galadha Shuddharaya, Vadanam Gadagada Rudaya Gira, Palakirna Chittam Vapu Kada, Tvanam Grane Bhavishyati. O my Lord, when will my eyes flow with tears at the sound of your holy name? When will my voice choke with love? When will the hairs of my body stand on end in your remembrance? So this is our goal. Not mere knowledge, not ritual, but this, the melting of the heart. This is prema. This aching, beautiful, unconditional love for Sri Krishna. And today, Sri Krishna has been so extraordinarily merciful upon us that every one of us who have gathered here, he has heard our desire and our longing. And he has sent us a devotee whose very presence is a gift, whose every word carries the fragrance of bhakti. We're truly undeserving of his mercy, yet here we are. How fortunate we are. So, from prior announcements, I've had a sense of hearing Prabhuji's devotional career, but since I grew up in a big city like Chicago, I was just envisioning Prabhuji's childhood, where he speaks about his guru, the Sanskrit teacher, with such affection, like a child sits with their elder, their father, with patience and with reverence and with deep affection. He learned that ancient language in the traditional way, drinking from its depths until the word of the acharyas became not just text he could read, but songs that he could feel. He took that flame of devotion and brought it fully under the shelter of his lotus feet of his beloved spiritual master, His Holiness Radha Govinda Maharaj. Under that shelter, Prabhuji blossomed in his bhakti. Prabhuji dove into the ocean of shastra, studying Panini sūtras and the Goswami's profound exploration of the Bhagavatam, not for prestige or recognition, but out of pure love for Mahaprabhu's mission. His devotional career included being assistant editor at Gopal Juhu Publications. He has a master's degree in information technology, and he's also a very trusted member of ISKCON's Shastric Advisory Council. He's a voice of clarity, integrity, and deep scriptural wisdom for the entire Vaishnava community. But dear devotees, all this, as wonderful as it is not why we feel so blessed. We feel blessed when Prabhuji speaks because we don't just hear Tattva or philosophy, we don't just receive information, we feel something shift inside our heart, in our chest. You feel the pull, that gentle, irresistible pull towards Sri Krishna's lotus feet. His words, Prabhuji's words, don't just illuminate the mind, they water the seed of bhakti in the heart. He has this genuine warmth and steadiness, and he carries a very natural humility. We were talking yesterday after his lecture that humility is a synonym for love, for Sri Krishna. Natural humility and kindness that makes everyone feel comfortable and welcomed right away, whether experienced devotees or newcomers. At the same time, there's this depth of the Sindhu of Krishna Prem. His appreciation of Krishna Katha and Bhakti is thoughtful, sincere, and deeply grounded in Shastra. In our tradition, we hear that devotion is only realized through association, and through the company of devotees, realization awakens. In Hari Parshad Prabhu, we see a living expression of this principle. He doesn't just inform, he nourishes. His words don't just explain, they carry a living experience of bhakti. There's a natural joyfulness and eagerness that I see in his spiritual curiosity, his approach to bhakti, an inner enthusiasm that keeps devotional life alive and relishable. And his association carries a subtle but powerful quality that I think all of you who've been present for the lectures appreciate. It invites others not just to understand bhakti, but to actually have swad, have taste for it. Whether through his association, his service, or his reflections, he has a way of encouraging others in a very real and personal way. You don't just hear about devotion from him, you feel drawn into it. This is the gift of satsanga. This is what Mahaprabhu promised us. So let us, with folded hands and with Hari Bol on our lips and Krishna Prem in our heart, welcome Prabhuji to our humble center and association with a loud Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. I'm sorry for taking time away from Prabhuji's lecture. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So I'm already feeling little heavy after.
Don't be too embarrassed. You.
Sure. So till what time should I end?
Like about a year from now.
Oh, sure. Yes.
Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol!
Practically, Arti starts at 12:30 and 1 o'clock we make announcement. So
Okay. By
QA time, right?
yeah. So by 1 o'clock we'll finish with Q&A and everything.
I think.
Yeah. Okay then. Thank you.
Are you all okay with that?
Hari Bol!
Very well. So I'm very, very thankful, Jai Sachinandan Prabhu, for introducing me in such a kind way. Your words are certainly pure-hearted, and Jai. Shri Nitai Sachinandan Gaur Hari ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Nitai Gaur Premanande. So your words are certainly kind-hearted and they come from a pure heart, and I accept these words and offer them to the pure lotus feet of the Guru Parampara, just as Ganga is offered to the Ganga. So I touch these words to my head and I offer this to the Guru Parampara, because if devotees are able to see any ability in me, this is merely a very small semblance of the original ability of the Guru Parampara. So this is what I'd like to say. So I'd like to offer all these kind words to the Guru Parampara. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for kindly being here. Your support means a lot to me. Really, I'm very, very appreciative. Dear devotees, Jai Sachinandan Prabhu, Bhakti Ras Mataji. As I said yesterday, they are the backbone of the community. I'm so thankful that they are so kind and like-minded towards what I have to say. Dear devotees, let's give Prabhuji and Mataji a big round of applause. Thank you. And often devotees ask me that during my visit to the US, which place do I spend the maximum number of days? So I say Portland. I shamelessly say Portland. So there are two reasons for spending maximum number of days in Portland. First is Jai Sachinandan Prabhu, and second is Param Karuna Prabhu. And of course, both of their better halves are also included in that. So I'm very thankful, dear devotees. Today we are discussing something on Shri Vigraha Tattva, and I'll try to speak something on Shri Vigraha, which is the deity form of Shri Bhagavan. But before I begin, I'll chant Jai Radha Madhav, then we'll do Mangalacharan, then I'll try to sing something. Do we have Kartal? Jai. Thank you, Prabhu. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय निताय सचिनंदन गौर हरि जय निताय सचिनंदन गौर हरि जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय गुरुदेव
Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Thank you very much once again, dear devotees, for kindly assembling here once again. Before we begin, it is Shishta Parampara, tradition established by the previous acharyas to perform Mangalacharan, auspicious invocations. Mangal is auspicious, Acharan is behavior. It is expected that we behave in an auspicious way before beginning a particular event. And in the Smriti Shastra, it is said, Mangalachara yuktanam nityam cha prayatatmanam japatam juhvatam chaiva vinipato na vidyate. Mangalachara yuktanam, those people who always perform auspicious invocations, nityam cha prayatatmanam, and those who are always busy in improving their spiritual life, japatam juhvatam chaiva vinipato na vidyate, that for them falling from spiritual life does not occur so easily, the devotees. So they do not fall from spiritual life so easily. This is the reason why we perform Mangalacharan. I'll sing these verses, most of us know them, you can kindly sing along with me. Om Jnana Dimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Soyam Rupaha Kadamayam Dadati Svabhadandigam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nidhi Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna prema pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha Dubhya evacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Nitai Gaur Premanande. So thank you once again, dear devotees, for kindly assembling. It's very important that usually I make a small announcement at the beginning of every program, but if you have your phones with you, please ensure that they are on silent mode or switched off, dear devotees. Here is a nice verse related to mobile phones, dear devotees. All right, it's a newly composed verse in relation to mobile phones. This verse is in the meter Vasanta Tilakam. All right, I'll sing it. Please sing after me. Kala samasta bhuvanam grasate prachando Yah kalamapyah nashayati prakamam Samparka yantra danujam tamaho bhavantah Kurvantu shantamuta nishkriyatam nayantu So, Kala, what is Kala, dear devotees? Time, the time factor. Samasta bhuvanam grasate. Time can eat up the entire universe. Yes or no, dear devotees? Yes. In the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan shows his time feature, which is eating up everything, the entire universe. So, Kala samasta bhuvanam grasate. The time factor is so fierce, it can eat up the entire universe. Prachando. It is very fierce. But yaha kalam api ahaha nashayati. But there is something which can also destroy time. Waste time, dear devotees. What can waste time? Samparka yantra danujam, this demon named mobile phone. It can also eat up your time. Time is the fiercest factor in the universe, but there is something which can even eat up your time. What is that, dear devotees? Mobile phones. So Samparka yantra danujam, that asura named mobile phone, tamaho bhavanta, all of you, I request you, kurvantu shantam, silence it. Uta nishkriyantam nayantu, or switch it off completely, dear devotees. So in this, dear devotees, is the newly composed verse for all of you. Okay? Please read Shrikar Prabhu.
The time factor devours all the worlds, for it is extremely fierce. Alas, there is an entity, however, who destroys even even this time factor to a great degree. This is a demon that carries the name mobile phone. O respected members of the audience, kindly silence this demon or switch him off.
Yeah. All right, dear devotees. So this verse especially for... Anyways, I wanted to start on a light note. As I said yesterday, Oscar Wilde said something. What did he say? Anybody knows? Yeah, if you want to tell the truth, make them laugh, else they'll kill you. All right? All right. Anyways, dear devotees, we'll begin with a quote from His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada said something in a letter on 27th October 1969. Please read, Prabhu, what Srila Prabhupada said.
I am pleased also that you are decorating your temple nicely. And the more you decorate the temple beautifully, the more your heart will be beautiful. The example is that the more you decorate the original, the more the reflection automatically is decorated. So, our heart is the reflection of the original consciousness, Krishna. And the more Krishna and his paraphernalia are decorated, the more this will be reflected in our heart, and we will feel transcendental bliss.
So it's a very important quote by Srila Prabhupada, where he says about deity worship. He says you're decorating the temple nicely, decorate it more beautifully, perform your seva nicely. And then he makes a very important point. The heart is the reflection of the original consciousness. And so the more the paraphernalia are decorated, the more this will be reflected in our heart. So the meaning of this statement is that actually deity worship is mainly a function of the physical senses, or is it a function of the heart? Heart. So deity worship actually technically begins in the heart, because simply performing the external activities of deity worship is not doing complete justice to deity worship. Deity worship actually begins within the heart. And actually it is a form, it is one of the most intimate forms of manasik seva, or service through the mind to Shri Bhagavan and the associates of Shri Bhagavan. Dear devotees, I would like to ask a very, very simple question, dear devotees. Often when we look at deities, there are some doubts which naturally arise within the hearts of the individuals who look at the deities. I am showing you a few deities. First deity, dear devotees, can anybody recognize which deity this is? Huh? No, this is Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan in Karoli, Jaipur. This is Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan. Okay. Next, dear devotees, can you see? This is Sri Sri Radha Damodar in Vrindavan. And now, who is Sri Radha Madhav? Now, dear devotees, please tell me, do all of them look the same or do they look different? So, which one of them is Krishna and which one of them is not Krishna? But how can it be? Krishna looks in a particular way, or Krishna has thousands of different faces? Krishna has a particular way in which he looks, right? So how can all these deities be representatives, or how can all these deities be Shri Krishna himself? It's a very important question, because it's a long-standing doubt in the hearts of many individuals as to how can Bhagavan be present within a deity. So this doubt is one of the most fundamental doubts that is present for those of us who are interested in deity worship. This is the first doubt that should be uprooted technically. Once this doubt is uprooted from a philosophical Tattva point of view, it becomes easy for us to then be able to perform deity worship with confidence. So dear devotees, these are all different deities. And all of us said that all of these deities, dear devotees, is non-different from Krishna. There is no deity here which is not non-different from Krishna. Here is a painting of Sri Krishna which was published under the guidance of Srila Prabhupada. It was published by the artists who were trained by Srila Prabhupada. So dear devotees, is Krishna non-different from this particular painting? Is Krishna present in the painting? Yes. Oh. If I take a photograph of that painting, will Krishna be present in the photograph? Yes. If I take a photograph of that photograph, will Krishna be present in that? Yes. Obviously, dear devotees. How is it that Krishna is present in all these particular photographs and deities, although all of them look so different from each other? So dear devotees, the Siddhanta in this regard is given by Srila Rupa Goswami. The philosophical understanding is given by Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada. I will quote a verse and then I will explain the Siddhanta that exists behind deity worship. Please sing after me. Atah Shri Krishna Namadi Na Bhaved Grahyam Indriyai Sevonmukhe Jihvadau Swayameva Sphuratyadah. Dear devotees, the various deities we saw, for example, Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Damodar, Radha Madhav, all the various deities that we saw, they were carved by different artists who made the shape of the deity. Now when they made the shape of the deity, they made the deity according to their image of, their mental conception of Shri Krishna. Everybody who makes a deity or everybody who makes an image of Krishna makes an image out of their mental conception of Shri Krishna. Now please tell me, mental conceptions are material or are they spiritual? Material. Mental conceptions are basically material. So when somebody has a mental conception of Shri Krishna, do they have a material conception or do they have a spiritual conception? Even with Shri Krishna, if it was a spiritual conception, everybody should have made the same. I hope you are able to understand. They initially begin with which conception, dear devotees? Material. And then they carve the image of the deity. Before Prana Pratishtha, you call it an idol. Before Prana Pratishtha, what is it called? An idol. And then, dear devotees, Sri Rupa Goswami says, Atah Shri Krishna Nam Adi Na Bhaved Grahyam Indriyai. The name, form, etc. of Shri Krishna cannot be grasped by the material senses. It is not possible for the material mind to grasp the form of Krishna. It is not possible for the material eye to grasp the form of Krishna. It is not possible for the material tongue to chant the name of Shri Krishna. All of us, dear devotees, engage in japa every day. How do we know whether it is japa or we are simply uttering the material syllables? How many of us perform japa? It's wonderful, huh? How do we know whether we are really uttering Bhagavan's Naam or we simply uttering the dry syllables, Naam Akshar? How do we know? By feelings? Feelings, so I have many feelings, but I should need some praman from Shastra. So Sri Rupa Goswami says, actually your tongue cannot utter the name of Shri Krishna. Shri Krishna Naam Na Bhaved Grahyam. Our tongue cannot grasp the name of what? Shri Krishna. But if one condition is present, and what condition? The third line, the first word is the most important term. What is the most important term here? Sevon Mukhe. If the inclination for seva is there, what is the meaning of seva unmukha? The inclination for seva. If the purpose of the mind is to render seva, if the purpose of the tongue is to render seva, if the purpose of the various sense organs is to render seva, then jihva adau swayam eva spurati. Bhagwan himself descends on the respective senses. I hope you are able to understand. For example, now Srikar Prabhu's mental image of Shri Krishna may be slightly different from my mental image of Shri Krishna. Alright? And he comes from the southern part of India and I come from the western part of India. So in his mind also, if he wants to offer some foodstuff to Krishna, Srikar Prabhu, which is your favorite foodstuff?
Dosa.
Dosa. Wow. So his Krishna eats dosa, I say. In his mind, he is offering dosa. And in my mind, I may have a different mental image of Shri Krishna. But if both of us have one common factor, then Shri Krishna will descend on that image of the mind. And what is that common factor, dear devotees? Sevon Mukhe. That the inclination should be to perform seva. then Bhagwan descends on image of the mind, on the words that we are chanting, on the activities that we are doing, Bhagwan descends. Otherwise, it is simply impossible for material senses to perform any sort of bhakti, because bhakti is purely a non-material function. Bhakti is not a material function, and the senses are purely what in nature? Material in nature. Is it possible for a material entity such as the human senses to have any access to a non-material entity such as bhakti? No. That is what Sri Rupa Goswami says. But if the inclination is seva, then bhakti can voluntarily descend. Bhagwan can voluntarily descend upon the functions of those particular senses. So, here is the translation. Srikar Prabhu, kindly read the translation.
The names, forms, etc. of Sri Krishna cannot be grasped by the ordinary senses. It is only when these senses, via the tongue, etc., become inclined to genuine service that these names, forms, etc. of Sri Krishna manifest spontaneously on the ordinary senses.
Alright. So, dear devotees, once again, I'll go back. Please tell me, do all the deities look the same or do they not look the same? Do they look the same or not? No. Okay. No, that we are clear about, okay? Huh? Our eyes are not deceiving us. Huh? They don't look the same. The further you go back in history, the more you will see that previously when deities were carved in India, they were not usually carved according to the exactness of the facial features. You go 1,000 years ago, you see the deities, those deities are a little, they'll appear to you a little more unpolished in nature. And then when you see the deities today, oh my goodness, they are squeaky, polished deities that you have today. So, which one of them is Krishna and which one of them is not Krishna? They are all Krishna. Why are all of them Krishna? And the answer is in one term. Sevonmukhi. But when somebody performed the prana pratishtha of the deities, a pure devotee, a Vaishnava, requested Bhagwan to manifest his presence in that particular form. And Bhagwan descended not because the form was looking exactly like him. Bhagwan descended because of one factor. And what was that factor, dear devotees? Seva Unmukha. This is the reason why the deity is non-different from Sri Krishna. The deity is, Bhagwan is not present inside the deity. If Bhagwan is present inside the deity, then the deity will become a covering or a shell inside which Bhagwan is there. Now, Bhagwan is not like that Narsimha Dev inside the pillar. I hope you are able to understand. Bhagwan is the deity. But how is Bhagwan the deity? Bhagwan is the deity because Bhagwan has voluntarily decided to become non-different from this deity. Why? Because he saw one inclination. Which inclination, dear devotees? Seva Unmukha. That this inclination for seva was present, so Bhagwan descended on that, and this is what you call prana pratishtha. That Bhagwan along with his prana, he became non-different from the image that you had carved of him. So this, dear devotees, is the Siddhanta that Sri Rupa Goswami gives. Srila Jiva Goswami explains the same Siddhanta in more technical words. He calls it, please repeat after me, Atidesh. So what is Atidesh, dear devotees? Very important term. Please, if possible, memorize this term. This is one of the most important concepts related to deity worship that we can find. Sri Jiva Goswami says in the Bhagavad Sandarbha, please repeat after me, Laukika Bhagavan Niketasyapi Tadaveshan Nairagunyam Atidishyate. Sri Jiva Goswami says, Laukika Bhagavan Niketasya. Laukika, in this material world also we make Bhagavan Niketa, we make a temple for Bhagavan. So when we make a temple for Bhagavan, the prana pratishtha, the establishment or the invocation of Bhagavan is not only for the deity, the invocation is for the entire spiritual world. Because does Bhagavan descend alone or does Bhagavan descend along with his entire abode? Entire abode. So if Bhagavan has to descend in the material world in a particular place, that place should also be considered as non-different from the abode of Bhagavan. So Sri Jiva Goswami says, Laukika Bhagavan Niketasya. The temple in the material world of Bhagavan is also, it becomes non-different from the spiritual world, and this process is called, what is the name of this process, dear devotees? Atidesh. The reason why it becomes non-different from the spiritual world is because there is one factor present in the person who is inviting the entire spiritual world. What factor is present in that person, dear devotees? Seva Unmukha. That person is having inclination for genuine seva. And because of that, dear devotees, the temple in the material world becomes non-different from the abode of Bhagavan in the spiritual world. This process is called what, dear devotees? Atidesh. In Sanskrit, the term Atidesh has a very specific meaning. Desh is that you take all the qualities of a particular entity and you copy them over exactly in another entity. This process, for example, let's say Shrikar Prabhu, let's say, usually he is very gentle Vaishnava, but let's say somebody attacks him on the street and he fights so bravely that he is able to defeat 5 people in a one-to-one fight. So then I may say, Arey Shrikar Prabhu, you are a lion. Now, unknowingly, I have performed Atidesh. What have I performed? Atidesh. I have taken the qualities of a lion and imposed it upon whom, dear devotees? Shrikar Prabhu. So, does it mean that Shrikar Prabhu then starts walking on 4 legs and I said, no, so, certain qualities from the lion have been imposed upon him. This process is called as what, dear devotees? Atidesh. Another example of Atidesh is given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Na griham griham ityahur grihini griham uchyate. The 4 walls of a home are not known as the home. It is the lady of the home who is the home. So all the good qualities of the home are superimposed on whom, dear devotees? The lady of the home. So this process is called as what? Atidesh. So Atidesh is when you take qualities from one entity and you apply it to another entity. So all the qualities of the spiritual world are taken and those qualities get applied to the temple in which world, dear devotees? Material world. When Prana Pratishtha is performed, when Bhagavan is invoked. So the center of, who is the center of the spiritual world, dear devotees? Krishna. And in the temple, who occupies the central place, dear devotees? The deity. So, just as the temple becomes non-different from the spiritual world, the central figure in the spiritual world also becomes non-different from the central figure in the temple. And what is the central figure in the temple, dear devotees? The Shri Vigraha. And therefore, by the process of Atidesh, the Shri Vigraha is considered to be non-different from Bhagavan. This is the Gaudiya Vaishnava understanding of the subject matter. Here is the translation. Please read, Prabhu.
Even in a temple, in the material world, there is complete presence of the spiritual world and Bhagavan by the principle of Atidesh.
Can you see the last word in the Sanskrit? Atidishyate. Atidishyate is nothing but which principle, dear devotees? Atidesh. This is the principle that Sri Jiva Goswami is referring to. Now, dear devotees, once we understand that the Shri Vigraha is non-different from Shri Krishna, and we don't have to artificially force ourselves to understand. We know there is one word to convince ourselves and everybody. Which word is that, dear devotees? Atidesh. And this Atidesh happens because of one factor. What factor is that, dear devotees? Seva Unmukha. So once we know this, we don't have to artificially force our material senses to try and see Krishna in that. We know philosophically and mentally Bhagavan is present in the deity because he was invoked by prema. He was invoked by love. Therefore his presence is there in the deity. Now that we have understood how Bhagavan is non-different from the Shri Vigraha, there are 2 limbs related to deity worship that Sri Rupa Goswami describes in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. Deity worship It occupies 2 of the 64 limbs in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Here are those 2 limbs. Please speak after me. Archanam. So Archanam, dear devotees, refers to initial preparation of worship. And this initial preparation of worship, which means that you clean the temple, you prepare all the paraphernalia for puja, you get everything ready, alright? This initial preparation before the actual worship is, what is the name of that, dear devotees? Archanam. And the second name, dear devotees, please repeat. Paricharya. Paricharya, Sri Juhu Goswami says, Ragya iva seva, to serve the deity just like a Raja. What is a Raja, dear devotees? A king. So in traditional times, when a king would enter the assembly, all the paraphernalia that would be offered to the king. Today you see all that paraphernalia being offered to Shri Vigraha. What is the first thing that is offered to the Shri Vigraha during an arti? Dhoop. Dhoop is what? Incense. After dhoop, what is offered? Deep. Then what is offered? Water is offered. Then you offer chamar, you offer the peacock fan. So many 16 of items are offered. All these are originally offered in traditional Vedic culture to one person. To whom are they offered, dear devotees? To the king. So Ragya iva seva, to serve the deity like the king, because the temple has become non-different from the spiritual world. And in the spiritual world, who is the king, dear devotees? Sri Krishna. So Sri Krishna should be given Ragya iva seva. Ragya iva seva means there should be service like a Raja for Sri Krishna, and that Raja seva is done by offering the various items of arati such as incense, dhoop, etc. And these are the 2 limbs of deity worship as described in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Now, dear devotees, out of these 2, which one is the main? The initial preparation or the actual deity worship? Which one is the main? Both. Somebody will say both, because one of them is the initial preparation and one of them is the actual worship. But when it comes to Bhagwan receiving the direct benefit, which one is the main one? Paricharya. Because in Paricharya, you are directly offering things to Bhagavan. So Paricharya stands out as main, but Archanam also gives equal benefit, even though you are not dealing with Bhagavan directly in Archanam. In Archanam, you are just cleaning the temple, preparing the various paraphernalia, but it gives the same benefit as performing what, dear devotees? Paricharya. Why? The Acharyas explain, just like in a fire sacrifice, in a yajna, dear devotees, does the yajna directly begin with swaha, or do we need to do many preparations first? Many preparations. Preparations begin with making the vedi, making the kunda for the fire sacrifice, to gather all the wood, to gather all the paraphernalia. So many things are gathered, and then, dear devotees, the particular fire sacrifice is made in a particular way. On an auspicious day, the brahmanas light the fire and then they start offering swaha. Swaha is the actual yajna. But do people who gather all the resources not get the benefit of performing the yajna? Should they get or should they not get? So just as activities before the actual yajna are also considered as part of the yajna, similarly activities before actual paricharya such as archanam are also considered as part of paricharya. I hope you are able to understand. In this way, the 2 limbs of bhakti, archanam and paricharya, are supposed to be understood. A devotee who is performing deity worship should especially be careful of one thing. One of the 64 limbs of bhakti, Jai Ho. Shri Nitai Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So a devotee who is performing deity worship should especially be careful of following one limb. This is one of the 64 limbs in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. This is the limb of respecting other devatas. There are many Vedic devatas in the shastras, and the devotee should learn to respect all the Vedic devatas and never disrespect any devata. And this is one of the 64 limbs of bhakti. Sri Rupa Goswami says in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, please sing after me. Harireva Sadaradhya Sarvadeveshwareshwarah Itare Brahma Rudradya Navagyeya Kadachana Harir eva sada aradhya. Hari is your eternally worshipable Lord, no doubt about it. Sarva Deveshwareshwara, he is the Lord of all the Lords, but at the same time, Itare, other Devatas. And the name is given, what is the first name given, dear devotees? Brahma. And the second is Rudra, Adya, etc. Other Vedic deities such as Brahma, Shiva, etc. Na avagyeya, should never be disrespected, kadachana, at any point of time. Not disrespecting the Devatas is one of the 64 limbs of bhakti. I hope you are able to understand. You perform bhakti simply by not disrespecting the Devatas. So, don't disrespect the Devatas and this will automatically contribute to your bhakti. There are some limbs amongst the 64 limbs which are negative limbs, which means by not doing something you advance in bhakti. This is one of those 64 which are the negative limbs. By not disrespecting the Devatas, you automatically advance on the path of bhakti. Here is the translation. Srikar Prabhu, kindly read.
Hari is the Supreme Lord, and thus he is to be worshipped always. At the same time, other Devatas, for example, Brahma, Rudra, etc., are never to be disrespected.
So somebody may ask, which limb of bhakti is this? So this, out of the 64 limbs, dear devotees, this is limb number 17. And the name of the limb is also given, Anya Deva Anavagya. Anya Deva Anavagya means to not disrespect other gods. This is one of the 64 limbs of bhakti as described in the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. So this is limb number 17 of 64. Do not disrespect any devata by trying to show them as inferior or anything, because this will directly impact your seva of Shri Bhagavan. Dear devotees, another important principle is that especially we should worship Vedic Devatas. Which Devatas, dear devotees? Vedic Devatas. Sri Madhvacharya says, please repeat after me, Tasmad Vaidikanam cha Devanam Archanam Tyajed Swatantra Pujanam Yatra Vaidikanam api tyaje Archayitva jagadvandyam Devam Narayanam Harim Tadavarana Samsthanam Devasya Paritorchaye Harer Bhuktva Vasheshena Balim Tebhyo Vinikshipe. This is a statement by Sri Madhvacharya. It is quoted by Srila Jiva Goswami in the Bhakti Sandarbha. He says, Tasmad avaidikanam cha devanam archanam tyajet. Give up worship of those deities which are not Vedic. Even in India, there are many so-called deities which have no mention in the Vedic Shastras. Some deities, some people or some worship has become popular simply because it was shown in a particular movie or TV serial or something like that. Without taking any names, the principle is very clear. Avaidikanam cha devanam archanam tyajet. If a particular form has not been mentioned in Shastra, Shastra here means Ved, Itihas, Puran, Pancharatra, Tantras, if they are not mentioned in such Shastra, Tyajet, one should not worship any such form of any Devata. And Swatantra Pujanam Yatra Vaidikanam api Tyajet. Even if it is a Vedic Devata, one should not worship that Devata independent of the worship of Hari. Archayitva Jagadvandyam Devam Narayanam Harim. First offer worship to the Lord of the universe, Bhagavan Narayan, And after that, tad avarana samsthanam. In traditional deity worship, around the deity of Sri Hari, there used to be deities of the 10 directions. And these deities would be the devatas. They are called Avaran devatas. What are they known as? Avaran devata. So Avaran devata is, there are deities of the 10 directions. These may be various deities, various devatas. First worship Hari and then worship the Avaran devatas. Then worship the deities around Sri Hari. So this Siddhanta that has been given by Sri Madhvacharya has been accepted as it is by Sri Juhu Goswami in Bhakti Sandarbha. That a Vaishnava also worships the devatas, but those devatas are devatas which are in Avarana. Avarana is, they are around the central deity of Sri Bhagavan. And then you can worship those devatas also. And Harer Bhuktva Avasheshena Balim Tebhyo Vinikshipet. And first offer Bhoga to Bhagavan Hari, and the remnants of that Bhoga should be offered to the Avarana Devatas, to the Devatas who are surrounding him. In this way, the Devatas are also respected. You worship the Vedic Devatas and you avoid the worship of Avedic Devatas as given in the Bhakti Sandarbha. Please read the translation. Sri Jiva Goswami is quoting Sri Madhvacharya here.
Therefore, one should give up worship of non-Vedic deities. One should also give up independent worship of Vedic deities by considering them the supreme. However, having worshipped Hari as the supreme, one can worship the other devatas around him as his subordinates. The remnants of Hari should be offered to them.
Dear devotees, in traditional orthodox society, it is a big question as to whether ladies can perform worship of the deity or not. In traditional India, you go and ask, so most of them will not allow, say that a lady cannot touch a deity, so ladies are ineligible for deity worship if you go and ask in traditional India. Sri Jiva Goswami specifies that deity worship is also for those Vaishnavis who are initiated on the path. I hope you are able to understand. In Shastra, there are various restrictions on two categories of individuals. These two categories of individuals is, first is Shudra and second is Stri. So wherever there is a restriction on Stri, that is ladies, automatically the restriction also applies to another category. Which category, dear devotees? Shudra. But as soon as both of them become initiated on the path of Sri Krishna Bhakti, they are elevated to the status of a Vaishnava, and a Vaishnava is automatically eligible to perform the seva of the deity. Sri Jiva Goswami says, please sing after me. Etad vai sarva varnanam ashramanam cha sammatam Shreyasam uttamam manye Stri Shudranam cha manada. See, just along with Stri, there is another term included. What term is included? So whatever restrictions are applied to ladies in traditional Orthodox society, those same restrictions also get applied to whom? Shudra. But dear devotees, Vaishnavism is a path which elevates entire of humanity to the status of being a Vaishnava. This verse actually is from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Sri Jiva Goswami quotes this verse to say that even the worship of Shalagram Shila, Shalagram Shila does not require independent Pran Pratishtha, because Shalagram Shila is non-different from Hari. Even the worship of Shalagram Shila can be carried out by those who are born as Shudra or those who are ladies if they are initiated on the path of Sri Krishna Bhakti. So this is the broad-minded nature of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, that it is allowing deity worship for all categories of human beings, because they have all, through process of samskar, they have reformed themselves and come to the standard of being a Vaishnava. Here is the translation. Please read the translation.
This process is accepted by and appropriate for all the occupational and spiritual orders of society. Therefore, I consider worship of you in your deity form to be the most beneficial of all spiritual practices even for women and Shudras.
This is Srimad Bhagavatam 11.27.4. The reason for mentioning Stri and Shudra here is because traditionally there are many groups which say that it is not allowed for ladies and Shudras, but Gaudiya Vaishnavism does not agree to that. It says that it is also allowed for ladies and Shudras. Dear devotees, another important thing to understand for a person who is performing deity worship is that Bhagavan is present not simply in the deity, but Bhagavan is also present in the hearts of the living entities. To see the presence of Bhagavan only in the deity and to not see the presence of Bhagavan elsewhere also becomes an aparadh gradually. Therefore, it is said by Bhagavan himself, Aham sarveshu bhuteshu Bhutatma vasthitah sada Tamavagyaya mamartyah Kuruter chavidambanam. Please read, Prabhu.
I am present in every living entity as the Supersoul. If someone neglects or disregards that Supersoul everywhere and engages himself in the worship of the deity in the temple, that is simply imitation.
So if somebody is worshipping the deity in the temple but not respecting the other living entities, that deity worship also becomes useless, dear devotees, because Bhagavan is not simply present as Shri Vigraha, Bhagavan is also present in the hearts of the living entities. Success of deity worship is to give respect to all the living entities. This is a very important principle. Jai Ho. This is a very important principle that everybody who performs deity worship should be aware of. If somebody neglects other living entities, dear devotees, Bhagavan is angry, because deity worship should not be used as an excuse to be unkind toward others living entities. Sri Juhu Goswami quotes the Bhagavatam again. Atmanascha parasyapi yah karotyantarodaram tasya bhinna drisho mratyur vidadhe bhayamulbanam. Atmanascha parasyapi yah karoti antarodaram. If somebody distinguishes between oneself and another living entity, and Sri Juhu Goswami says antarodaram, which means you feed yourself nicely but the other person is hungry. He says especially if there are poor people, if you see, and they are hungry, and a devotee who has sufficient resources is performing deity worship, doesn't take care of the poor living entities and doesn't give them prasad to eat. The devotee is such a bhinna drisho, such a person of a separatist mentality. Bhayam ulbanam vidate. I give him the fear of repeated birth and death in this material world. So dear devotees, it is very important for a person performing deity worship to have kindness towards other living entities. Please read the translation.
For a person having a differential outlook, who differentiates between the belly of himself and of other living entities, I, the Supreme Lord, appear in the form of all-devouring death and continue his existence in the fearsome material world.
Dear devotees, therefore, prosperous grihasthas, those who are wealthy grihasthas, should definitely perform deity worship nicely and should also take care of the other living entities. Sri Juhu Goswami says, Asti etu sampatti manto grihasthas. The rich and prosperous grihasthas should definitely take up archanam or deity worship as their main path. If they try to give up this path and just falsely pretend to perform smaran by not using their wealth, Sri Juhu Goswami says, then they will incur the fault of cheating tendency, and that money which they have will become used in cheating purposes. So rich grihasthas especially should take care that deity worship should be performed very nicely and sufficient resources should be given to the poor living entities. Each and every living entity is looking up to the grihastha ashram so that the grihastha ashram will support them. The Grihastha ashram is the support system of all the other ashramas. So nobody in the Grihastha ashrama should behave in a miserly manner, especially if you have been blessed with sufficient wealth and resources. There's one last verse with which I'll conclude, dear devotees. Grihasthas, please never be miserly in terms of deity worship or in terms of charity. Because there is a very famous verse about a miser person. And, dear devotees, please tell me, have you heard about the most charitable person in the universe? Who's the most charitable person? Bali Maharaj? No. The most charitable person is the miser. Alright? Please hear how this is the case. Kripanena samodata nabhuto na bhavishyati अस्पृशन्नेव वित्तानि यः परेभ्यः प्रयच्छति कृपणेन समो दाता न भूतो न भविष्यति. There will not be, there was no bigger donor than the miserly person. Believe it or not. What is the reason? The miserly person donated his entire wealth even without touching it with his own hands. I hope you are able to understand. The miserly person donated his entire wealth without touching it with his own hands. When does that happen, dear devotees? After his death. Now you understood? Acha, there is another thing. If he would have touched it with his own hands and given to somebody, at least he would have received the piety of donation in his next life. But he is so charitable, he didn't even want that piety. So he donated everything. He even donated his piety for next life. And he went without any piety to his next life, dear devotees. Let's say loud Hari Bol for the greatest donor, dear devotees. So, dear devotees, Kripanena samodata na bhuto na bhavishyati. The miserly person is the most charitable because he neither gives his wealth and he also sacrifices his piety for next life, dear devotee. Can there be any greater charitable person than this? No. So how many of you want to become the most charitable person? No? Achha. So the lesson is, as long as it is possible to give to Bhagavan and give to the living entities who are genuinely in need. Alright? One thing, dear devotees, there is a very famous verse, Rikta panirna pasyetam rajanam devatam gurum. Never see three people empty-handed. First is the king or the leader of the state. Never go to meet the leader of the state or the king empty-handed. Second is the guru. Never go to the guru empty-handed. And third is devata. Never come in front of the deity empty-handed. It's a very important understanding. This is my request, dear devotees. Whenever you come to the temple, whenever you are in front of the deity, you don't have to give a lot, but maybe whatever it, even if it's possible to give $1 or something like that, every time you see the deity, please give something. Please come in front of deity with a small gift. Please do not come empty-handed. As a token of reciprocation, one should always reciprocate with the deity form of Sri Bhagavan. So with this, dear devotees, I'll pause my speech. Thank you so much, dear devotees. Srila Prabhupada ki Hare Krishna. So we have some time, a few minutes for Q&A. If anybody wants to ask anything, now is the time. Jai. Srikar Prabhu, yes, you can take the mic.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for the amazing class. Why, if the principle of Atitesh applies, like we can offer something to the picture of Krishna, that we even need to worship the, or why do we need to construct a deity form and then worship the deity form? Or what is the particular importance to the deity as compared to a picture?
What is the particular importance of a deity form in comparison to a picture? Actually, Shastra agrees that you can also offer things to a picture. Please sing after me. Shaili darumai lauhi lepya lekhya cha saikati Manomai Manimai Pratimashta vidha smrita. Please read the translation, Prabhu.
The deity form of the Lord is said to appear in 8 varieties: stone, wood, metal, earth, paint, sand, the mind, or jewels.
Which is highlighted? Paint. Okay. So, when you have a painting of Bhagavan, that painting is also one of the forms of the deity. Can Bhagavan become present in a painting? Yes. Through which process? Atidesh happens when you have what? Seva unmukha. Alright? So, that is how it works. So, you can also offer to a pratima or to a painting of Bhagavan. But then why do individuals prefer a deity made out of wood, stone, etc.? The reason being that they also want to have a more personal relationship, so that they can dress the deity every day. They can offer some wonderful things to the deity, which can be offered to a deity that can be dressed. You can offer a mukut, you can offer ornaments, you can offer so many other things. So that is the reason why certain devotees prefer worship of a deity which is made out of other substances. So that is the answer to the query. Alright. Sri Gopal Bhatt Goswami had shalagram, but he was not satisfied with shalagram. So out of the shalagram, one particular deity manifested. Which deity manifested? Sri Radharaman. That is the desire. Otherwise, he could have offered the same paraphernalia, same items to the shaligram also. But what is missing is seva. I can't do seva. So more seva is possible in that. So that is the answer. Alright? Yes, Narottam Vilas Prabhu.
Prabhu, thank you so much for the amazing Tattva on Vigraha, Prabhu. It's an allegation usually cast by other faiths about if you say your deity is, Bhagavan is your deity, but then, we have invaders who have come and destroyed the deities. And so how, and they say, so what kind of Bhagavan do you have? You can't even save himself. So how do we refute, or how do we give them a befitting reply to this?
Yeah. So there is often an allegation cast that you have so many deities were there and invaders came and destroyed the deities, and then you were not able to rescue those deities, and then what sort of a Bhagavan is that, by which who cannot protect himself from all of these. See, the thing is this: the invaders who came and tried to destroy the deities, they belonged to certain religious understandings which makes them insecure of forms. The insecurity was not within Vedic culture. Vedic culture has 2 parallel aspects going together. One is the impersonal aspect, one is the personal aspect. Both these aspects for thousands of years were living peacefully in Vedic culture. And there was no destruction of deities by those who were impersonalists. Sri Adi Shankaracharya, who is like the recent head of the school of impersonalism, how wonderfully he integrated deity worship also within his own sampradaya, so that all the Shankaracharyas, they themselves perform deity worship. You will see all the Shankaracharyas, they are trained in deity worship. So this is actually impersonalism which is not afraid of personalism. And this is the secure version of impersonalism which is not afraid of impersonalism. When invaders came, they came with that insecure form of impersonalism. That in order for my religion to be proven supreme, other forms should be destroyed. Otherwise, my religion cannot be proven supreme. So the validation was not needed from the side of Vedic culture. It was from the invader side that they needed validation for their own forms of religiosity. And so they tried to destroy. Most of the images that they destroyed were images which were there carved on the temples. On the walls of the temples, which are not pratisthit vigrahas. Most of the images that you see that they destroyed were those which were carved on the temple, because they did not like any names or any forms. Of course, some deities were also destroyed in the process, and this in turn is an indication that those followers of this was the first challenge that followers of Vedic culture faced in recent history. Due to the influence of time, sometimes inexplicable events happen that we are not able to explain through logic and philosophy. These events keep happening from time to time. Once in a while, such an event takes place. I'll give you an example of such an event. Krishna was personally present on the planet, and Ashwathama managed to kill the sons of the Pandavas without Krishna intervening in between. I hope you're able to understand. But these incidents don't happen regularly. These incidents happen once in a while. Sri Bhishma Dev says, Sarvam kala kritam manye bhavatam chayadapriyam. That in my opinion, all this is due to inevitable time under whose control everybody in the planet is carried, just as clouds are carried by the wind. Sometimes such an inexplicable situation occurs. But the followers of Vedic culture made sure that this becomes an opportunity for them to install even more deities. I hope you are able to understand. So in the state of Maharashtra in India, there occurred a very powerful lady. Her name was Ahilyabai Holkar. Ahilyabai Holkar, she made sure that all the Jyotirlingas, all the deities of Bhagavan Shiva in the India, they are restored to their full glory once again. And if you see the number of deities restored by this lady, this one lady restored so many deities in India. She's a Kshatriya lady. She restored so many deities in India that all the deities together were reconstructed and all the deities were put back in their place. So in this battle of insecure impersonalism and deity worship, ultimately one party is going to win. Which party is going to win? Deity worship. Why? Because we have unlimited forms. You cannot destroy unlimited forms. Alright, so this is how it is supposed to be. Once in a while some inexplicable event occurs, but these are to be taken as indications that we should perform the seva once again in a more rigorous manner. Nothing else. Okay? Thank you. So we'll pause here today. It's 1 o'clock. Alright, so 1 o'clock German time we are pausing here. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Hare Krishna. Really?
So let's thank Hari Parshad Prabhu with a loud Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Thank you, Prabhuji. So one more thing I wanted to announce is that a couple of years ago, Prabhuji published this book which you can see here called Shri Bhakti Rasayanam. It is a commentary on the first 7, it's volume 1, and Prabhuji is in the process of coming out with the next few parts, volume 2, 3, 4, etc. So this is a commentary on the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, one of the hardest, most cryptic commentaries with lot of deep realizations on the 10th canto, which is the most important volume of the Srimad Bhagavatam containing all the pastimes of Shri Krishna. So Prabhuji has translated it very painstakingly, going through each line, each verse and coming out with hidden meanings. And the first volume is available. It contains the first 7 chapters of the 10th canto. The 10th canto is 90 chapters, 90. So first volume is available. It has the pastimes of the appearance, or as we can say, birth of Shri Krishna, the appearance of Shri Balaram, the atrocities of Kamsa, the Nandotsava in Gokul, the Putana, Trinavrata, all these beautiful pastimes. So if you would like to relish more nectar, more sweetness of these pastimes, you can obtain a copy of the book. It's free of donations. No price is expected. Donation whatever you want, you can donate. But Prabhuji is we have very few copies left. You can contact me if you want a copy. It is in Hindi.
So Prabhuji is saying that there's still some time remaining. Maybe can we take 1 or 2 more questions?
I think the idea is we don't want to hold. Prabhuji's not once a year, so I want you to be able to ask questions.
Yeah.
And then after that, we can have the kirtan group do our kirtan. Our thing already occurred. so we can have kirtan, sit down kirtan, etc. Our goal is to go to about 1:30. We need a little bit more time to finish prep for Prashadam. So what we can have, are some devotees feeling cold? We can turn down the fan. Can we turn down the fan, please? So we'll do that. So Prabhuji will take however many questions there are, and then after that we'll have kirtan. Okay? You want
Anybody?
to take the
Srinivas.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hari Bol.
So, for worshipping the deity, one of the methods is Pancharatra Vidhi.
Pancharatra, yeah.
Yeah. So, can you please explain what does the term Pancharatra mean, and maybe some details that you can explain?
Okay. So, there are many meanings of the term Pancharatra. One meaning of the term Ratra is night. So in 5 nights, this shastra was spoken, therefore it is called as Pancharatra. This is one main meaning of the term Pancharatra. There was, if you want to, because I also want that, I will give you reference to literature in which you can read more about the meanings of the term Pancharatra. So I will, yeah. So, in the there is a Samhita called as Ahir Budnya Samhita. And in Ahir Budnya Samhita, this was originally published by a German scholar, Otto Schroeder. So he published Ahir Budnya Samhita with an introduction in which he explained the various meanings of Pancharatra. So this Ahir Budnya Samhita is actually is one of the main Pancharatra literature, and in this Pancharatra literature it has been explained the meanings of Pancharatra. Various meanings of the Pancharatra have been explained in this particular literature named Ahir Budnya Samhita, and in this way there are many aspects of Pancharatra that have been explained. I told you first thing is that it was spoken in 5 nights. Then there are 5 aspects of deity worship that are also explained. So that is why it is called as Pancharatra. If you remember in the GBC ISKCON manual, there are the 5 aspects of deity worship which are explained. So that is also explanation of that is also included in this. So this Ahir Budnya Samhita, it was given with a detailed introduction where all the meanings of the term Pancharatra were also explained. So I'll send it to you, but one meaning of Pancharatra is the shastra which was explained in 5 nights. So this is one of the answers. Okay, anybody else? Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Hari Parshad Prabhu. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. So one of the condition was that we see that deity service is so important, and then you said that it is to be expected that all the people do deity worship, and then
all the grihasthas who are sampattiman.
That's what I was asking. So is it expected that all should be sampattiman, all should get initiated so that they can do deity service, all the grihasthas?
No. For example, I make a statement, all the fat brahmanas should fast. Does it mean that first all of them should become fat? From a Nyaya Shastra point of view, try to think the state there is some. So,
okay, thank you so much.
All those who have been gifted with sampatti or gifted with wealth should make sure that they perform deity worship by first getting properly initiated. Without second initiation, there is no question of deity worship. Initiation is a must for deity worship. So without getting initiated, you can't touch the deity. And first they should qualify themselves, and then they should use their wealth and resources in service of the deity. Let's say there is some grihastha who is not second initiated. Still they should use their wealth and support the deity worship of the temple or the nearby temple which they are member of. So even if they are not second initiated, they can use some of their wealth in engaging in deity service. And if they are personally second initiated, then they can of course use so much of their wealth. Because that wealth becomes that wealth which is not used properly starts rotting. And it starts giving negative reactions because you start spending it somewhere where it will give no result. One thing I have seen, many individuals buy a lot of things and store in their garage. And they expire there. Aren't you might have used in deity worship? At least you would have gotten the punya, but they became the most charitable person. Huh? Neither did they give it. Huh? Neither did they enjoy it personally. It rotted in the garage. So this thing we should take care of. That if you have Lakshmi, spend it in such a way. If you have money, spend it in such a way that it will give you benefit, either in this life or in the next life. Bhartrihari says that there are 3 destinations of money. Money ends up in one of 3 places. Please repeat. Dan, Bhog, Nash. There is no 4th destination of money. Either you give Dan. What is Dan, dear devotees? Charity. Or Bhog, you personally enjoy it, use it. And if you can't do both of these, money will automatically end up in the 3rd destination. What is that? Nash. It will end up as some commodity in the garage which neither you enjoyed nor you donated. So once in a year, it's important to clean the garage and give it to poor people. Okay. So that's
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Okay. One more, then we'll pause for the kirtan cars. Okay. Yeah. Doshna Mataji. Mataji, I'll personally. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So, it feels like the principle of Atidesh and being of Seva Unmukh is sufficient. What's the importance of Prana Pratishtha then?
What is the importance of Prana Pratishtha if Seva Unmukha and Atidesh are? See, in Vedic culture, not only the mental activities are considered, activity should also have a physical form. So, Seva Unmukha is a function of the mind. How do you express being Seva Unmukha? Through the physical senses. So, there is an elaborate ceremony called as Pran Pratishtha, where the intention of the mind is brought out in the form of the Pran Pratishtha ceremony. I'll give you another example. For example, another Vedic function is Shraddha. Shraddha is offering to the forefathers, Tarpan. So mentally you can offer everything to the forefathers. So intention is already there. You can offer to the forefathers. But externally there is a ceremony which is given so that you also offer it through the physical senses, and so that intention becomes visible on all levels of existence. And for that reason, Atidesh, the Seva Unmukha may be in the mind, but the process of Pran Pratishtha is the formalization of that intention through the invocation of Vedic mantras and invitation of Bhagavan. So that is the entire procedure. Okay? Follow up.
Is there
small follow up.
Then if we have a photo which is not done Prana Pratishtha of, is it like different from...
If you have a photo which is not Prana Pratishtha, the least we can do is have Seva Unmukha. I hope you are able to understand. The least we can do is have intention of Seva, and we have good hope that Bhagavan will accept. We have good hope that Bhagavan will accept because we have intention of Seva. The ideal thing is to have a deity which is Pran Pratishtha, but if that is not the case for any reason, then the second ideal thing is have a photograph and in your mind would be Seva Unmukha. Okay? Whatever is possible ideally, that you do. So I hope this answers. Okay? Chalo. Thank you so much, dear devotees. Hare Krishna.
Lord Hari Bol for His Grace Hari Parshad Prabhuji ki Jai. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. And the books are there, you've already made those announcements, right? So please sponsor Prabhuji's continued seva and desire to publish volume 2. That's supposed to come out in about a year, or is that what I heard? Or later this year?
The English volume 1 is coming out this year.
Okay. So, by his magic, if you buy the Hindi one, it will appear English in about later this year. Is that correct? So, I think we've always been asking this. if you desire for Prabhuji to come here again, say like in about a week, Haribol. I'm joking. Has to serve a lot of communities, so I think we all pray for your continued well-being and enthusiastic sharing of your Krishna consciousness with all. Vanchakalpatrubhyascha kripasindhabhyo-cha tathyanam pavnebhyo vaishnavyo namo namaha. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. So there is a program this evening, also that's at 5. You've already announced about the evening program? No? You want to say something? So at 5 p.m. is the final program?
Is the final program, yeah. Kalakshepam.
So that's at your families, Vasudeva Prabhu, Rama Mataji, Hasni, home at 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We do encourage everyone to do RSVP so that the family can actually prepare suitable arrangements for all of you, okay? But I think all are welcome, right? Okay, so let's have a kirtan. We have all the devotees who love kirtan. We just need about, I think, 15 more minutes to get everything set, okay? Thank you for your patience. Hare Krishna. Oh, I should probably make announcements now because I think as soon as 15 minutes are up, everybody's going to probably go. Number one announcement I was asked is, of course, honor prasadam, but also please help with some seva. You know, we shouldn't leave temple without some element of seva. So please help here or in the kitchen, wherever, but some little thing, okay? Any first-time visitors? Your friend. You're forcibly raising his hand and he's trying to bring it down. What's your name? David? This is a friendly crowd, so let's welcome him with a loud Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Where are you from, David?
Myrtle Creek, Oregon.
Myrtle Creek?
Yeah.
Where's that?
Down by Canyonville, Roseburg.
Where?
Down by Roseburg.
Okay. So a good amount of distance, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. Hope you have a good time. Yes, you're welcome. Anyone else? Oh, yourself. You're here for the first time? Sorry, I didn't need to do that. Your name and where you're from?
Melissa, live in Mount Shasta, California.
Wow, beautiful place, huh? Hopefully you find Oregon equally nice. So you're just visiting? Welcome. Thank you. So let's welcome Melissa Mataji with a loud Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Okay, so we can move on. All the devotees, happy birthdays. I don't recognize half of those people there. Okay, that's the beauty of, I guess, something. I think I see Anirudh. I lost my heart in Vrindavan, but no one else. Okay, happy anniversaries, happy birthdays. We had a chance to have Anu Mataji's 25th observance and also Radhakanta Prabhu and family's 25th. How many of you are here because you're Anu Mataji's friends? You come for other programs. Damodar Leela Mataji is only coming for this occasion. Haribol, welcome, thank you. Next. Okay, so thank His Grace Hari Parshad Prabhu. Okay, I think we did that. We can do it again. Okay. Today's program, Sunday, May 10th at 5 p.m. at Cedar Hills. I think Damodar Leela Mataji sent the invite, so you know the actual direction. Okay. Reflections and heartfelt discussions. This would get Prabhuji kind of like some juicy gossip, huh? Some heartfelt discussions. Okay, next. So we have another senior Vaishnava coming. His Holiness Bhakti Anand Tirth Maharaj is coming from Europe for Friday, Saturday, Sunday programs. Please come join. He is a wonderful devotee. He's done a lot of innovative outreach in the United States, and he's wonderful. And then from June 3rd to June 8th will be His Grace Govinda Prabhu, who used to be at Vrindavan for the 24-hour group and trained with Narendra Prabhu, and now is in Mayapur. And then June 16th to June 22nd, very exciting, His Grace Gaura Sundar Prabhu is coming, Russian-speaking devotee, very learned individual, and he's going to have some programs over the weekend. and then here at the temple. June 23rd to June 29th is His Holiness Prabhupada Swami Maharaj. And then he's been here since we founded the ISKCON has been since 2003. So I'm not going to say a whole lot more. July 4th and July 5th is a wonderful addition. His Grace Kanai Thakur Prabhu, a really sweet devotee who's coming from Chaupati. So he's going to be here. And then July 6th to July 12th is His Grace Harivamsh Prabhu from Sridham Vrindavan. So a pretty full calendar. Hope you all can make some or all of the events. I thought devotees did a really nice job with organization this week. We had lots of programs, but I think RSVPs were occurring. So please keep that up. RSVP is a very practical thing. So just let people know, your hosts know that you're coming, so they can make suitable arrangements. Next. So today was sponsorship by Anu Mataji and Parshad Prabhu in remembrance of Mataji's father, Sri Shekhar Reddy Nanuri Prabhu, and Ashutosh Prabhu, Shilpa Mataji and Ashay in remembrance of his uncle, Bhanudas Gavi Prabhu. Okay, and next week will be Madhusudan Prabhu and Mother Mataji for Rahul Prabhu and Arjun's birthdays. Okay, we'll keep going. We'll have this special event occurring. Are we ready for that? I'll come back to this. Can you go to the next one, please? Okay, come back. So, Her Grace Sri Pada Mataji, who is Srila Prabhupada's disciple, and she speaks Srila Prabhupada Katha at the end of each of our Sunday program. So she had to go to urgent care because was pretty sick over the week. And I just spoke to her this morning. She just got out of the urgent care, and she's requesting all of your prayers so that she can continue to serve Srila Prabhupada and her Guru Maharaj, okay? Yes, is Mother Guru Prabhu here? Okay, so Mother Guru Prabhu and Manji Gopika Mataji, Tunga Vidya Mataji, they have a ill family member, and they're requesting your prayers during a very important, sensitive time in that family member's illness. So please send your prayers to Shri Shritai Satchidananda, Shri Radha Krishna, that they give them remembrance of Shri Krishna at all times. Hare Krishna. And we look forward to hearing from Shri Pada Mataji next week. Okay, do you want to come up for the Bhakti Shastra? No, I know, but you can do a little intro. Come and do an intro. Watch out for your glasses. Okay. Okay, so Prabhu is going to... No, come on. Okay, so go back to that slide and Prabhu will announce a little bit about the graduates of the Bhakti Shastric program 2026. They'll be happily engaged in washing pots and pans now that they've graduated from Bhakti Shastric. Hari Bol. And then you guys go.
So Bhakti Shastri program was instituted by Srila Prabhupada, and this is a deep study program of 4 books that he instituted: Bhagavad Gita, Shri Ishopanishad, which is one of the primary Upanishads, Shri Upadeshamrit, Nectar of Instruction, and the first part of Shri Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, which is done as a summary study by Srila Prabhupada called Nectar of Devotion. So these wonderful devotees have completed the course. It's about a 3-year course. And I'll hand it over to Shri Hari Parshad Prabhu for awarding the certificates.
Yeah,
I think a couple are cooking team. I'll ask them to come down.
Sure. So these are all students of Param Karuna Prabhu, dear devotees. It was Param Karuna Prabhu who taught them Bhakti Shastri. They have graduated under his guidance, dear devotees. Hari Bol. Kirti Da Mataji. Makarand Prabhu. Wonderful. Congratulations. Thank you. Mansi Ganga Mataji. Many congratulations. Nikunj Kishori Mataji. Okay. Yes. Nitai Jagdish Prabhu. Many congratulations. Vidagdh Madhav Prabhu. Achyut Keshav Prabhu. हाँ? अच्छा, they are outside. ठीक है. Okay, ठीक है. Outside Portland. ठीक है. So we will do Mansi Seva and offer them to those devotees. Huh? Names are Achyut Keshav Prabhu, Madhavi Manjari Mataji from Laguna Beach. Okay. Prem Vardhan Prabhu and Sham Leela Mataji from Atlanta.
Well, let's appreciate, it takes time and effort on top of job and everything else for somebody to do the sustained commitment. So let's appreciate them with a lot of Haribol. Okay, so I think the kirtan team is raring to go. So maybe we can turn ourselves and face the deities. We'll let you know when we're ready for prasadam, but probably 1:30. And I think half the devotees will be able to go because we have more. So the other half maybe stay for the kirtan, okay? Please don't all rush there because we won't have space. And please don't go there right now because we're not ready.
Wait, can you sit forward? It's much nicer if it's not like just in the front.
I'll be here.
Wait, can you sit over there?
I'm
please. Can you please? Wait, can you put that way?
We'll rotate.
नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 I think all right. Hare that makes sense. Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare Rama Rama Rama
Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama
Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare Rama 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 Rama
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama Rama
Rama Rama
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare Rama Rama Rama
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, oh Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Rama Rama
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna
Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama